Hello everyone. You know what? I had started this video. I prepared this great little background and I realized that it had stopped recording. I think I hit something on my camera. So I'm back and I'm gonna kind of fill you in and tell you what I did. Thankfully I caught it before I got the whole thing done. But anyway, I'm gonna make a card today. And one of my favorite things that I saw on this new lovely Lilies background stamp was this in piece right here, the dots. And I'm like, ooh, that is so cool. There's so much we can do with that. And I never got around to doing anything with it. And so I'm back today to do something with it. And so the first thing I did was I took my Piggyback and then also my Rosy cheeks, and I created this background just by doing some ink blending through it, paying attention to that darker color on the edge, you know, to give it that nice pink dark edge. And I just blended through with the Rosy cheeks and then the Piggyback, which these are older colors. So just blending this on there. I do have everything listed for you down below. I am working off of the same product list, so make sure that you go ahead and just check that out. I don't know about you, but I like to get a lot of use out of my products. So for me, it's a good value if I can use it. For every dollar spent, I want to be able to use it one time. So if I buy a stamp set for 20 bucks, I want to get 20 uses out of it. And hopefully this has given you guys some ideas on how to stretch your supplies as well. All right, so this background is done. And as far as that, I'm going to put this Flower Power stencil on here. And I'm going to use just some tape to hold it in place because the lines on this need to be pretty much in the same spot, I think. So I'm just going to use some of my mint tape like this. So I'm doing the back and then I'm just going to flip it over and now it will hold nicely. And I'm going to use the new color out, which is Sidewalk Chalk. Really pretty pink. And now that I did that, it picked up. Oh my goodness. I can't win for losing today. Let's try it again. Here we go. Let me get this. I'm going to just do this in real time at this point, just so you can watch me work through all of my issues that I seem to be having today. And then I can take a little bit more of this mint tape and just, maybe if I tape it to my mat, that'll help. And I do just want to go through and blend this on down. All right, so I am being a little bit gentle because it's not my day, as you can probably imagine based on the fact that my camera didn't work and whatnot. All right. I'm just really going back over. I see some stuff here and there. And then I can peek. I mean, it wants me to peek. That looks pretty freaking cool. But I am just not done yet. I actually want to mist this down with some water and then lift that color up. So I'm just going to do 2 squirts like that. Take my rag and just lift that color up. And now I can go ahead and remove this. And that is what I am left with, which is super pretty. So I do want to just make sure that I wipe off my stencil, because it is a dye ink, and that means that the ink can transfer to my next project, so we don't want that. So I just am going to take, and doesn't take much water, just a little bit. There we go. Set this aside because I'm done with the stencil. Then I'm going to take my heated tool and just go over it to get it dry so that we can move on to our next step. And as you notice, I am doing the back and the front of the card base because the water will seep down to the back side of that card base, and it'll seep back up as I'm moving on, and I'll get weird things that'll happen. So it's super important that I dry not only the front, but also the back. All right, so from here, I am going to add this in a couple places, and I'm going to use Triple Berry. I think that this is just a beautiful color that goes nicely with these colors that I have down already. And yeah, I'm just gonna stamp it in some random spots. I don't really care if it all doesn't work or if it all doesn't transfer over. I'm just gonna do some fun little dots in a couple different areas. All right, I like to work in threes, so I think I'm pretty happy with that right now. There we go. How fun is that background? And then once again, since this is a dye base, I can just go ahead and just lift it with a little bit of water. And then from here, going to put my card together, and I already have the centerpiece done. So what I want to do first is I just want to slip this on to this side like so. So I'm going to use my best glue ever for this. And since it is the same size as my card front, I'm just going to glue directly on to this card front. And I always use the writing tip because it gives just the perfect amount of glue. All right, so I'm just gonna pop this on, and I love to use glue because I can slide it around and get that perfect placement. Unlike tape, you gotta get it right the first time. Okay, so there we go. Now, I went ahead and took from this set, which is the He Is Risen set, and stamped out this on a piece of vellum using my archival ink in jet black. And then I used the Conquered Grape, I think is what it's called, in the risen part. And what that does is it's really subtle and really beautiful. And I'm just going to put it along the center of this card. Now, if I was smart, you can learn from me on this one. Don't make my mistake. I would have cut it a little bit longer, creased it, and then folded it under as to avoid any kind of adhesive. But I wasn't, so I have this. And for this, I'm just going to use my Connect Glue by Gina K, because it tends to really mask the vellum nicely. So I'm just going to attach it. I'm being a little bit strategic with where I'm putting the glue. I'm making sure that I'm putting it where that purple is, so that if there is any lines, it'll blend rather nicely. And then I can put some right there, right there, there, and I'm just being kind of careful with where I put this. And I need, I think my little nubby was clogged a little bit because I'm not getting much out. It's drying relatively quick. There we go. That's better. Like I said, I am not going to speed this up or slow it down so that you can kind of see it in real time. That's kind of, I think people appreciate that from time to time. All right, and so let's go ahead and just pop this on. Center, kind of right about there. All right, then we can take it over. I'm going to fold it over. And then I want to ink the edges in my jet black archival ink. There we go. And to finish it off, I'm going to take some of this dimensional rose gold and just pop a couple little spots down. And that's it. I'm going to call that card done. So super fast, really easy card created just with some stencils and a piece of that background pull apart stamp. All right, you guys, I really hope that you found some inspiration in this video. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Again, I do have everything that I used in the description box. So make sure that you check that out, as well as a direct link to Ranger, and then also a direct link to the best glue ever with Scrap Perfect. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you do so. If I haven't said that already, I might have. And then now I'm dropping things. Make sure you hit that notification bell too, so that you know when I have a new video coming out. And you can always find me over on Instagram and Facebook under Bets Golden, as well as Twitter, and then of course my website. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, I'm Bets Golden. Happy crafting.